Okay. Yeah, and let me see if you, or let me know if you see any like drop frames or anything like that. I have the not the chat. I mean, like it's in another tab, but yeah. I don't know how big of a difference it might make having the chat open.
Mm. Well, it looks good so far.
Okay. Yeah, we'll just we'll probably upgrade the Crystarium while we wait for people to join in. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So my paradigms are pretty much all the same. Oh yeah, so you know what's funny? Like, the way I organize my paradigms is like, at the top I have like the most offensive, and then as you go down it's to the most defensive. For some reason I see a lot of people doing the opposite. Like they put the most defensive one on top, and then the most offensive one on the bottom. I don't know. It's just...
I'm just thinking, like, most offensive, I say, goddamn.
Yeah.
Or something.
But like, this makes sense to me because like when they give you the options of like, okay, select a role for this character.
Yeah.
Like they're listed in top offensive, bottom defensive. So I don't know why people organize it in a different way. But
to each his own. It's like how some people do inverted mouse.
Yeah, that's true as well.
Stuff.
I guess it's like to be honest, when you're I guess when you're doing like I guess when you know exactly like you know exactly what the boss is gonna do, you know what you want to do, and all that shit. Then I've seen a lot of people who only use like, I mean they'll have other paradigms as well, but a lot of the time they only use like 2 or 4 of them.
Okay.
Which is like, I don't know, when I used to watch people playing...
It's like not flexing your full range of motion.
Yeah, but at the same time it's like I kind of understand it, because if you know like fucking everything about like what's gonna happen and what you need to do, then you kind of don't need everything, you know? And like it kind of makes sense to me in a weird sort of way, but I just like having, I don't know, it just gives me like a peace of mind, I guess.
So you're saying once you have your offensive shit in order and you know everything, you're good.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
And actually, you know, a good way to describe it, like in the way that I tend to play it, is like basically, do I have fuck you attack, fuck you defense, fuck you healing, fuck you buffing, and everything like that? That's kind of how I go about describing it.
Nice.
That's how Chris was the reason I do that, well, part of the reason I do that, I never really put it into words before, but Chris was describing me, like, how he used to play Destiny, I think it was. He's like, okay, we gotta make sure we have fuck you attack, and shit like that. I mean, I haven't played Destiny, so
But what about fuck you healing?
I don't know if they have healing in Destiny, though, let's see. Like, it makes sense in this game, but, I don't know.
You know what? I'm trying to think now, because my husband played a lot of Destiny.
Yeah.
I don't think there is healing. There's just, med packs. But...
Yeah.
But I mean for Final Fantasy, at least.
Yeah, it makes sense in this game. Or just RPGs. Well, that's a thing, I guess. Do you consider Destiny, like... I've heard some people describe Destiny as like an RPG, like a shooter RPG hybrid. Is that...
Yeah, I would classify it as an RPG shooter. First-person shooter. Either you'd say RPG shooter or first-person shooter.
Yeah. Well, like, the reason I ask is because it seems like it has a lot of RPG elements to it, so...
Yeah.
Like, compared to other FPS games that might hold similar, you know, gameplay mechanics.
Yeah.
So yeah, alright, it's been like, I don't know, 3-4 minutes now, so... Hey everybody, welcome back. We're back. It's Wednesday again, we're doing another stream. And I don't know. Yeah, I feel like this is kind of a little bit of a long chapter, so I don't know if we'll be able to finish the whole thing in this, because like
Yeah.
we've been doing about one chapter, with the exception of chapter 4. We've been doing like one chapter per stream.
This one might
yeah.
need more than one.
Yeah, it's weird because this chapter is chapter 7 and it's kind of long. But chapter 8, which comes right after this, is actually super short, especially if you skip all the cutscenes. So, yeah, I don't know. We can make. My point is, we can make up for it next time. Because, you know, the next chapter is super short, so.
Well, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, so this is Palimpolum. This is actually my favorite chapter in the game. Also, probably, I would argue, my favorite city in the game, at least on Cocoon.
Okay.
Not that Pulse has many cities anyway, but, you know, it's like... I really like the city. It's I think we briefly mentioned it at the end of the last stream, but, like, I like how it's, like, right on the water. It's got a lot of foliage, like, all over the place. It's just a nice city.
It's pretty dope.
Quick, this way.
Except for these wackos here.
Yeah.
Stay down.
They look like they have zero personality.
Because they're all wearing the same thing, or...
No, it's just the way it looks on them. Like, the other creatures look, I don't know, more well thought out. If
Yeah.
that makes sense.
I guess
More
so.
flushed out, if you will.
Yeah, well, I guess... Yeah, you could. I feel like you could probably say that about most of the human enemies in this game. So, yeah, I guess it is more interesting to fight.
Oh, they're not robots? I thought
No,
they
those
were
are
robot-y.
yeah, no, those are guys in
Okay.
in like armor, I guess.
Hmm.
So yeah, but I agree. They're actually pretty easy. They're part of the
Ooh, sorry.
They're part of the, what's it called, the like sector of the government that Lightning is from. The
okay.
Guardian, yeah, the Guardian Corps.
Ooh, go to the ATM machine.
Yeah. Yeah, so and that's actually
Trying to catch
something
your breath.
that Pez brought up when he was doing this. There's no part where Lightning ever considers the fact that she's fighting her former like allies. But I guess, you know, in this situation there's not really time to think about what's going on anyway, so. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's pretty easy.
I can't put my finger on it. Like, there's something like the way that their uniform looks like, and it's not the color. It's just the way it's constructed that makes it look so blasé. Like they don't have any dimension.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I kind of prefer them to Psycom just because we don't fight these guys that much. I think this is actually the only chapter that we fight them.
Oh, really?
And then the rest of the game, including the previous chapters, we're only fighting Psycom. So Psycom is like basically their military, and the Guardian Corps, which is these guys. They're basically like, I guess they're kind of like police in a way, because
Sure.
basically all they do is, you know, patrol the cities and you know, they don't get sent out anywhere really, although apparently Lightning occasionally did for like special missions or whatever. But mostly what they do is like just keeping the peace, I guess. So yeah, and then SciComm is like their the branch that's like, I guess you would refer to them as like the military compared to, like, if we were using
yeah.
real life examples, you know.
I mean, there's something very similar to that in the real military.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of acronyms to make funny words.
Uh-huh.
Like you've got InfoSec and like AFRICOM. Oh, yeah. It's hard to keep them up and memorized and straight.
But I guess a simpler way to describe it is SciComm is basically for like focused on the safety of Cocoon, and the Guardian Corps' focus is on the safety of like individual towns and stuff.
Okay. So one's federal, one's state.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Or city, rather. Ah, politics and video games.
Yeah.
I roll. I hate politics.
Yeah. Well, at least I don't know. I guess I don't mind it in video games because it doesn't have real world implications, and I don't have to worry about it. I can just kind of, you know, I can choose. I can elect to just forget about it or stop thinking about it if I so choose.
Yeah. Yep. Anyway.
But yeah, just a really nice looking city.
We're almost there, aren't we?
I like the foliage too.
Yeah.
So what's new with you? I haven't talked to you since last stream.
Yeah, not much. Been doing more art stuff. Basically what I've been doing is like, because I'm basically just a beginner, I've just been looking at like patterns, I guess you could say, trying to figure out like, because like when I try to draw shit, I'm like, oh fuck, this doesn't look good at all. So basically what I do is like I study, you know, art that I think looks good, which, you know, most people think looks good. And just looking at it, it's like, you know, what are the things that, the patterns that I see between these, you know, pieces of art from, you know, different artists or the same artist.
Sure.
Yeah.
Is that another ATM? No.
No, it's like a switch
Oh.
for these moving platforms. Yeah, the first time I played this, I didn't know that some of these actually, depending on the switch that you press, it takes you to like a little side area to get more like hidden shit, like treasures and stuff.
Oh, okay, cool.
That might be one.
I hope.
Yeah, I think there's actually a way to get one here if I press. I hope it's this one. Yeah, so I didn't know about this on my first playthrough. I just kind of skipped all this shit. I hope this one. Yeah.
Oh, hey, your buddy's there.
Yeah,
just,
here we go.
He
Yeah,
just apparated there.
Yeah, they teleport behind you. But yeah, this is super cool. This area. This is like I think, yeah, they call it the Nutriculture Complex, and this is where like they make their food and all that shit.
You know, food and shit.
Yeah, one begets the other.
Of course.
But yeah, this place is super cool and like really intricate. And you know, if you look at the concept art, it's amazing like how much.
Is that a moth? Like a giant.
Oh, the yellow
like,
thing.
Hologram of a moth?
I guess it kind of looks like a moth, but no, that's a fal'C. That's the fal'C that makes food. But yeah, actually, you're right. I never really looked at it, but it does look kind of like a moth. Yeah.
I think maybe it's because the moths are getting more prevalent in my house.
Also in meme culture, apparently.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I keep seeing that too. Maybe the moths IRL know what's up because I don't know. It's not like I have an infestation of moths, but because we don't have screens on our windows, and if we have the windows open, they like to come in because there's light on. And when it gets dark, they start being like, "Oh, what's the shiny thing?" I like shiny things, or bright things. So yeah, they come in. Sometimes Kitty gets interested in them, but most of the time she likes spiders more than moths. Because moths can get out of her reach if she spots them, but if she spots a spider, the chances of her being able to get it soon after she's seen it are highest. But yeah, hopefully winter, or well, the cooler part of fall will come and they will stop coming.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like moths are pretty much one of the only bugs that I don't mind.
See, for me, I have to be careful because I have a lot of yarn for knitting, and they like to eat the yarn.
Oh yeah, they do. They like eating like cloth and stuff, don't they?
Yeah. So any cloth that is made out of an animal protein.
Yeah.
So like wool or so not cotton or polyester, but wool, like camel, cashmere, anything like that. What else? I can't remember any other fibers all of a sudden. Mohair.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, I do have some yarn that's from yak. They might think of that as a delicacy, probably.
Yeah. Maybe. Oh, I need to read these guys. Yeah, so some interesting enemies here.
These guys look like ankylosauruses.
Yeah, this is called the Lucidon. What was the thing you said?
Ankylosaurus? Wait, turn around. Can you look at it again?
Follow my lead.
Yeah. In the reading, the Libra menu, or like just in battle?
Yeah, can you turn it around?
No, but I can like look around the battlefield.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, okay. Not quite, but similar-ish. It's got like that pangolin look to it.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. I always think like the pangolin kind of looked like its distant relative was the Ankylosaurus.
Yeah. That's the thing about this game. I feel like there's a lot of creatures that seem to be based off of like dinosaurs and shit.
Do you know what game does that really well? Jurassic Park.
Did you?
Follow my lead.
Have you played that new Jurassic Park game? I don't know what it's called.
Oh, the one where like you build up pens, you like build your own park.
Yeah. What's that?
No.
What's the name for the? Is that like a simulation game? Is that what they call
No
those?
fucking idea. Oh, I would think of it as a like a city planner.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, just like a management.
Just a management simulator. Yeah.
Yeah, like SimCity or City Skylines type of stuff.
Keep up with me, Hope.
Yeah. Man, those games are fucking boring in my opinion.
Yeah, although like Prison Architect kind of looks interesting just because like there's like people fighting in it.
Yeah, yeah, I guess so.
Oh, your little guy's trying to escape into the heavens.
Yeah. Launch is super satisfying in this game. Because you can just... That's basically... the enemy can't do a single fucking thing.
Mm-hmm. They're kind of like immobilized.
It's the city's food production
Yeah.
fallacy. Why don't we use that as a landmark?
Ooh, if that was a moth, but it was actually glowing itself, what would
Let's head for the
happen?
fallacy at the center.
I
Would
don't
it
know.
be attracted to itself? Oh my god.
Yeah, that's actually a good question.
Oh!
Are moths like attracted to fireflies?
Ooh. Ooh. Interesting. I feel like this is like some like weird erotica version of Beatrix Potter stories. Now when a moth meets a firefly... Do you say firefly or lightning bug?
I usually say firefly.
I say firefly too.
Not that it really matters that much, honestly. But
Oh my god. So, you know what my husband used to do when he was a little kid with fireflies?
would he catch them like in jars or something?
No, much worse. He would take a baseball bat
What the fuck?
and just like try to hit a swarm of them so that he could get a glowing baseball bat.
Is that how that works? I don't.
Yeah, because like you hit it and then like it gets like the streak of like glowiness.
But how long
I don't
does
know
that
what this
last
episode-
though?
I don't know, but oh my god. Fucking psycho. Like, of course, I like right now because of I'm much more into animal advocacy. I'm like horrified.
Yeah.
Like, this is the man I married. Although he, I'm sure, grew out of it. I'm so sure he grew out of it. I hope he grew out of it. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
What is my life right now? I don't know.
Well, actually, speaking of shit like that, not to like implicate him or anything. Oh, fucking.
He was just a dumbass kid, so.
What?
Dumbass kids do dumb shit.
I don't want to use a Phoenix down, but I guess. And I don't have raise. God damn it. Alright.
Do your horse, man.
Calm.
Oh yeah, I could have done that.
Is it too late?
Yeah, I mean, I've used the Phoenix down, but it's not like... It's not really a huge deal anyway, so...
Oh, okay.
Time to switch it up.
You were saying you didn't want to implicate him.
Yeah, but what do you think of, like, games that are basically just... like, hunting simulator? Like, simulation games? Because, like, at first thought, they seem kind of, like, inhumane. Like, why would anybody want to play this? But then,
I mean-
then again, at the same time, like, I feel like if you have, you know, a... If you feel like you want to hurt something, then I guess it would be better to just do it in a fantasy video game than, like,
Yeah.
in real life.
I mean,
So.
I don't know. Like, if you have like an arcade game like Duck Hunter or Deer Hunter, whatever it is, you know,
Thanks.
it's like, I guess it's okay, but like again, Pokemon's about animal.
Yeah, Pokemon is literally cockfighting the video game. So.
Yeah, it's about abusing animals. So, but I like Pokemon. Like I grew up with Pokemon, and it's, you know, just it's just a story. I don't know. It's kind of like saying like, well, if you like reading about like crime fiction, like crime novels and stuff like that, Does that mean that you want to commit those crimes?
Yeah, that's pretty true as well.
So,
No problem.
but then again, you could be like, well, if I read about, child porn, does that mean that I can get arrested for child porn? It's like, if you're asking that, I don't know what to think, but on an unrelated note, hopefully unrelated, Dex says hi. Hi, Dex.
Oh, hey, dude.
Hmm.
Are we going the right way? No, we're not.
Yes, we are in the food factory. Did you almost say not duck hunt? Yes. Now, were you gonna say duck cunt instead? That's what I thought.
No.
Yeah. Anyway, welcome.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. Don't worry, Dex. At least I thought the worst first, and now you've graced us with your innocence, thinking that you were gonna say the other one. Any case, welcome. Hopefully, our banter this week provides some entertainment.
Yeah. And I've been thinking about like what we should play next.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about like obviously I love Skyrim. But I was thinking about like I was looking at mods and shit like that, and like there's a lot of mods that like just make the game a bit better.
Mm-hmm. I'm down for that. Oh my gosh. I heart Skyrim forever. I want to make, like, my next knitting pattern that I want to do is Skyrim related. It's like a Dovahkiin hat.
Keep up with me.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that'd be fucking cool. But yeah, so I was also talking about how I'd be interested in doing like a, what's it called? Like, a quest items only run, so like basically just a special run of Skyrim.
Maybe you should do, like, have another parameter, because that, I don't know how far you'll get with that.
Oh, I mean, it's actually, it's pretty, I mean, it's not easy, obviously, but like, you can beat the game by not using, by like not looting, just using quest items, because like a lot of the best items in the game are like rewards for quests. So yeah.
Yep.
But I was thinking like it would be fun to do that as well, but I feel like that could also be done like in just a video series, and then if we do actually stream Skyrim, then we don't have to worry about like parameters. We can just fuck around with mods or whatever.
Yeah. I really want to do the Thomas the Tank Engine one.
Oh yeah, one of my favorites is like even more than Thomas the Tank Engine is the one that replaces dragons with who is it? Randy Savage, I think.
What? I have not seen this.
There's also, I actually prefer the one, like a similar mod in Fallout 4 that replaces the Death Claws with Randy Savage. That's even better than the dragon one in Skyrim.
I think the only other one I know, I know a couple other ones. Like, there's one for like making like grass look better type of shit, which is nice. And then there's another one where it's like, I think it's like spicy wenches or something like that. Oh,
you mean the one that Terps was playing?
No, it was one that Sips was playing.
Oh, was he?
Wait. No, you were right. It was Terps. Because you had to like save all these wenches, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That one was funny. And then the other one I know is, how do you call? I'm like thinking of the words in German now. Shit. Where the horse is a car,
Oh yeah.
your horse is a car.
I would love to get like a.
But like the worst part, the funniest bit is like when you're trying to like cheese your way up a mountain,
Yeah.
but then you know when your horse falls, it makes like this very odd scream. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't sound like a horse, but like if you're in your car mod, your car screams like that. I'm like, Claire. Anyway. Oy vey. Oh yeah, you're right, Dex. That Willems thing. That's like a stock sound. Like you know how they're stock photos?
Yeah.
They're stock audio. And one of them is like those screams. Like that you hear in every single movie, like
Yeah.
it just sounds the same every time. Anyway. So, I have kind of like a wonky story to tell you.
Yeah.
So, my friend had to leave town. No, she had already planned a trip to New York, and she didn't realize how quickly it came up, and so she was like, oh, "Can you babysit my cat?" And I was like, "Oh, sure." By the way, her cat's name is Barbara Streisand.
Nice.
And Barbara Streisand, the cat, has such a little grumpy face. It's so cute. She looks like Grumpy Cat, but all white.
Oh wow.
And a little bit floofier. But she's like an old lady cat. She's like 13 years old or something.
Oh wow. Holy shit.
She's sweet. But my friend, she was like, oh my gosh, thank you. Also, don't mind that there are these giant machines in my kitchen. And my kitchen is kind of partitioned off with like giant sheets of plastic.
Okay. What the fuck?
Because her landlord heard
Is a
or
gimp?
like got it. What? No, her landlord said that there was like a mold or leak problem going on the apartment underneath them.
Oh god.
So they had to rip up some tiles in the kitchen, in her kitchen, to address the pipes that are in between these two flats.
Uh-huh.
And there are 3 giant industrial dehumidifiers
Holy shit.
that are like put into where these tiles were ripped up. But like this entire little area, it takes up the entire kitchen, and it looks like everything is plastic sheeted up and tented up like it's the scene in E.T. where like the house gets taken over by hazmat people.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just like, oh. So I was like, okay, do I need to do anything with them? She's like, no, my landlord is taking care of all of that, and you know, I've only been dealing with it for like a couple days, but it's supposed to be for like 3 weeks.
Uh-huh.
I was just like, oh my god, like, like your landlord should put you up in a hotel and cover it.
Yeah.
Because this is no way to...
It's no way to live. Also, it's not exactly safe. Like, I mean, it's something better than nothing,
Right,
but like...
heaven forbid, it stops suctioning and it like flips over and starts like eating poor Barbara Streisand.
Yeah, or like alternatively, what if the cat rips up like the plastic or something?
No, she's too old to even
Oh, okay.
be like that. She can't really defend herself because she's just so like
Oh, wow.
old, and she's slowing down, kind of old.
Yeah.
And so, but she still hangs in there. She's sharp. But so the first day was what, yesterday, that I went over there to witness all of this myself. Oh my fucking god. Within, like, right when I closed the door, immediately my lips were chapped.
Holy shit.
Because it was so fucking dry in there.
Oh my
I was just
God.
like, oh my gosh, I'm so thirsty. I feel like,
I'm dying.
I guess this is what fish feel like when they're out of the water.
I guess so,
like-
yeah.
And so, but the worst part, she didn't even tell me that there's so much noise too. And I was just like, I could hear it. She's on the top floor of this like 3-story building.
Uh-huh.
And I heard it when I got in to the building at the bottom of the stairs.
Wow.
I can hear it. And I was like, how the hell was she sleeping for those first few days?
I have no idea.
Like, and also the cat. Cats have better hearing than humans do. So I'm just like, poor Barbara Streisand. And oh my gosh, I was like gulping water down. I needed to become more prepared.
Yeah.
But I was just like, the worst part is that she's a violinist, and you can't have your instruments in that dry environment. And so she had me take her violins, like all of her violins and violas, over to my house because she was afraid like they were going to get damaged because of that. Because the drier it is, the worse it is. So you want it to be a little bit moist or a little bit humid, and even like some of the nice violin cases have like little humidifier readers in them.
Uh-huh.
So it was just crazy. And I would have offered just to scoop up little Barb and bring her home over here so that it's at least quiet. But the problem is, my cat Willow, she's a bitch to other cats. She's a rightful bitch to other cats.
Wow.
And we tried fostering other cats sometimes and like babysitting other cats. No. She's just like, this is my place. You get the fuck out. But anyway, that was so surreal. I was literally, when she said, yeah, this is my life, I'm like, you are literally in that part of E.T. right now.
Yeah.
It's frightening.
That's fucking nuts. Holy shit.
It is.
But to get back to the game, we just skipped probably my favorite cutscene in the game.
No! Well, can't play it anyway.
It's the cutscene where Lightning and Hope get caught by Psycom and the Guardian Corps. And
Yes, Dex, it was that dry. I can't believe it either.
I'm trying to beat this guy without summoning again. The thing about this battle that's a bit fucked is that you haven't played as Snow or leveled him up in like several chapters, so he's like kind of weak. So I'm trying to use like item buffering to sort of stop me from getting staggered, and then also healing. This is gonna be tough. I'm trying not to summon during this fight. it's hard.
This guy definitely looks like a Pokemon.
Yeah, kind of. I don't know, why did they do this?
How can this happen to me?
I'm also oh, I fucking lost the chain gauge as well.
Ooh.
How much HP does it have? It has 6,000. It has 6,000 HP left, and I'm doing about 100 damage per hit. So is that 60 hits? Am I doing that math right, or is it 600 hits?
Do you even math?
I don't know if I can do this. What about Ravager? How much damage is this doing? Oh god. No, I pretty much need to summon.
Man, you're getting pretty pummeled.
Yeah, I don't know how they expected you to do this part, because like you can't kill this thing with the Shiva sisters.
So when it says Gestalt mode,
Yeah.
so I know what Gestalt means,
Yeah.
but what does it mean in this game?
It means together.
Okay.
Or as one.
Is that
Yes.
some kind of C
Okay,
power?
that's
It's kind of
what
funny.
Gestalt is.
Yeah. It's kind of funny how like I feel like in this game there's a lot of words. There's a lot of like German and Chinese words. And it's
What's
like
another German word to use?
I'm trying to think of one, like just off the top of my head. Like some of the
Ach, meine Handy.
some of the characters have, you know, weapons that are named in a certain way. So like Hope's weapons are all named. Or I could show you in a second, but I just want to fix my paradigms first.
Sure.
There we go. That's pretty good. Oh wait, no, one of these is the same. This one. There we go. Perfect. So yeah, Hope's weapons are all named. I don't think this is German exactly, but like Ninurta, and I don't have another one, but we're gonna get another one soon called like Vidofnir or something like that. I don't know if that's exactly German, but
That sounds Dutch.
Dutch.
Dutch
Yeah.
or like some Scandinavian.
Yeah. And then lightning. What? I feel like there's other places in the game that have like different. Oh, and then Feng's weapons are kind of named, I think, in like a Chinese way. Some of them.
Do you think it's like
I feel
for
like
each character, like they have a certain inspiration?
it's possible. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Like Saz's weapons are named after like stars. Lightning and Snow's weapons are in English. Yeah, and then some of Fang's weapons have like kind of Chinese names, but she uses a Chinese weapon though, so you know, it kind of makes sense.
Okay.
I'm just trying to figure out, because now Snow has like about 15,000 Christogen.
Crystal meth? What?
Christogen.
Oh, okay.
I might actually be able to like fully level up Snow here, which is possible. I feel like Snow levels up a little bit faster than pretty much everybody else.
He's got to go places, so
Yeah, pretty much.
he needs
Yeah.
to move up in this world, and that's how he's gonna do it.
Depending on how much you fought in like previous chapters, because you know, you kind of share XP between characters. I mean, you don't really share it, but like if you make XP for in like with one character, all characters get it.
You know, actually, I'm wondering, does he level up quicker because he shows up like pretty late?
No, I just feel like in general he kind of has. He either has fewer nodes in his. Well, I think that's probably it. He has. Not only does he have fewer nodes in his Crystarium, but he seems to get more from each node in general. Especially in terms of like HP.
Doesn't have enough nodes.
Like compared to I know, like pretty much every other character.
Sure.
He has.
I was just thinking, like, you know, like since you truly get more time with him in such a late chapter, that maybe it's like, well, he's got some catching up to do, so he better level up pretty quick. Kind
Yeah,
of thing.
I think so. Because like, yeah. So if you look here, this is the beginning of the game, right? He starts off with this little triangle of abilities here for just for the Ravager, and then that's it. And then you know, we don't play as him for like what 4 chapters or something like that.
Right.
And the Crystarium expands every chapter, like at the end of every chapter. So this is chapter 3, this little triangle here. This one node here, Magic plus 15, that's chapter 4. And then the next node is chapter 5, Strength plus 5, and then Magic plus 4 is chapter 6, and then this one that we're on right now is chapter 7. So, you know, for those, I guess it's because you play as him a little bit less because he's gone for like 4 chapters.
Right. Dex knows what's up. Yeah. He doesn't have the nodes.
Yeah.
But
There we go.
you would say that his character development is still not shallow,
You mean,
despite that.
do you mean Snow?
like-
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah.
No, he has pretty. I'd say he has pretty good character development. And
Which I
actually,
think is
most of it.
interesting, considering everything else that has been shortchanged. You know?
Do you mean like for him specifically, like
Yes.
in terms of the Crystarium?
In terms of like not only the Crystarium, but like, you know, the amount of time that you actually get to play as him, sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So interesting how things are lining up for that.
Yeah. And this is actually the chapter where he seems to get the most character development. Also with Hope, their stories are really tied together.
Right.
Between Snow and Hope. So. Yeah.
Just launch all those motherfuckers.
Yeah, pretty much.
He just did like a Donkey Kong slam with both of his fists.
Yeah. I love.
Every time I see that, I think of Donkey Kong.
I love how the characters in this game have like finales for physical attacks. That's one of the things that, like, when I was playing this game for the first time, I was like, that was one of those things that was like, that made me feel like, holy shit, this game is so fucking cool. Because, like, Lightning's is the first one you get to see, and it's like, she fucking does a backflip and shoots the gun at the same time, which is still one of, like, the most badass things I've seen, like, in gameplay, like, just from any game.
Now, I have the stream audio off so I can not hear myself.
Yeah.
But do these guys, like, do they announce their attacks?
Do you mean the characters, like Lightning and Snow?
Yeah.
No.
Do they do, like, Kamehameha?
Oh, you mean like in One Piece or other animes? Yeah,
or
no.
even other like JRPGs.
Do they do that in other
In
RPGs?
Eternal Sonata, they did.
Oh yeah, they did. That's right. Yeah.
Like Shadow of Flame, or I don't know what the fuck they say. I forget everything that.
No, you're right. Yeah, I remember. I remember that. But yeah, no, they don't do that in this game. But they do, like, they say stuff, you know,
Like, take that. Ugh.
yeah.
Is that all you got? Basically, Skyrim.
Most of it is just like
Somebody stole your sweet roll.
most of it is just a key up, like k or this, you know, when they move, you know, like realistically, basically. And then sometimes, and it doesn't happen all the time. I really like how they handled it in this game.
Yeah.
So sometimes they won't say anything at all. Sometimes most of the time they'll do like a key up where they'll just say like pop or something like that.
Just too easy.
And then, you know, when yeah, and then usually when you defeat an enemy, sometimes they'll say something. Not all the time, especially if there's like a lot of enemies.
Well, that was easy. I can imagine Vanille saying that.
That's actually, I think that's actually one of the lines she does say at the, but she says that at.
She says something a little bit different, though. Yeah. She was like, "Oh, that wasn't too bad," or something like that. Or we took care of them.
Yeah. Oh man, did you know that Vanille's voice actress, her English voice actress, was playing, sometimes plays this game on Twitch, like for charity stuff.
Awesome. Is she Aussie too?
Yeah. And some I never watched like all of it because you know this is a pretty long game, but yeah. So as far as I can tell, the only like non-American voice actors in this game would be Fang, Vanille, and the like the, you know, the bad guy Bartandelus, and I think that's it. So yeah, but yeah, she's an Aussie, and yeah, she does a lot of like charity work like all the time. I guess when she's not doing voice acting, that's what she spends most of her time doing.
Pretty dope.
Yeah. But yeah, going back to like the voice acting and stuff, you know, sometimes when you beat an enemy, Snow, I think Snow has some pretty funny lines. Like he'll say, it only usually happens if the character gets like the final hit. So Snow will say like later or something like that. Or what else does he say?
Nighty night, or something like that. So.
Actually, Fang says, if I remember correctly, sometimes Fang will say, "Good night, sunshine."
Nice.
It's really, I find it really fitting for the characters.
Yeah. Hey, pup.
Oh, hey.
Time to prove who the heroes are. How about this?
So yeah, and then Lightning also says, what does she say? The only one that I can remember her saying is, nothing personal. But other than that, I can't remember any of her lines.
Does my life have meaning now? Sorry, I trash on her a little bit.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
But I'm easily influenced by so.
By who?
Just by like people saying like, oh, you know, this and that and the other when I haven't played the game myself.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with those, because especially with this game, it's really like I think we were talking about this last time, but it's really obvious when somebody complains about this game but they haven't played it, because they'll just say shit that makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
So,
This guy looks pretty scary.
These guys are pretty tough. I think these are actually the hardest, like, human enemies. Just in general, like the guys that look like this. They look pretty cool.
They're spiky.
Yeah. I like their weapon too. They've got this like really spiky looking, I guess you would call it a lance. It's really similar to Fang's weapon.
What are they called? The Psycom Warlord. Okay.
Yeah, these are warlords.
They look like they can be guardians of hell.
Yeah, kind of. They've really got that fucking sinister look to them, I feel.
Yeah.
Like they make it really obvious like who's supposed to be in like Psycom and who's in the Guardian Corps, because like the Guardian Corps people.
Why does he do like the movie like killer thing, like slasher thing? Where it's just I'm going to walk slowly toward you and still kill you.
Yeah,
creepy.
Yeah, they spend a lot of time like charging stuff, and they don't attack. I guess if you had to compare them to the roles in this game, they'd basically be commandos, because they're a bit slower and they hit really hard. So. Yeah.
ATM. Ding. Thank you for backing with us.
Yeah. We're making pretty good progress. I'd say we're probably about like maybe 2/5 of the way through this chapter.
Not bad.
Wrapped up and ready.
I'm trying to think of like what other shitty banter we can talk about.
How about this?
I guess I was thinking about something. We could talk about like what the best abilities are in this game. So one thing I think about a lot is like, or one thing, I guess one thing, here's something we can talk about, like if, I don't know if it works exactly like this, but like let's say you were a l'Cie.
Okay.
And like you, like I don't know if it works exactly like this. I think it's based on your personality. But like let's say you could choose what 3 roles you could start with, like as your primary roles, and obviously those are going to be like better than the other 3 that you eventually learn in combat. So, and I don't think you actually get to choose. I don't think the characters get to choose what they are, because like obviously they don't know a damn thing about how any of this works.
Right, yeah. They are not that self-aware.
So yeah, I keep thinking about like if I were to see which roles would I specialize in.
Okay.
So if you want to hear all of the like just a brief description of the 6 roles.
Sure.
So there's the commando. They're basically focused on just dealing damage, and that's about it.
Okay, so they're like heavies.
Yeah, but they're not necessarily slow. It's just that they're more focused on hitting hard, and also they have non-elemental magic. So.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
and then other than that, so that's the commando. They just do physical attacks and non-elemental attacks, and they're not necessarily slow, but they're not focused on speed. They're focused on dealing damage. And so then there's the Ravager, and that's basically the same as a Black Mage.
Okay.
And they're
it's not necessarily like melee either, right?
Well, there are some melee black magic attacks.
Okay.
So if I guess if you use like a fast enough weapon, that seems to be how it works. If you use a weapon that's, because because in this game, Ravagers, they drive up the chain gauge, which is like that percentage at the top right, makes you do more damage. But also it's less stable when a Ravager is attacking it, as opposed to a Commando. Commandos are really good for like stabilizing it, but like in like a real life application, it's not like a huge deal or anything.
Alright, so that's Commando and Ravager.
Yeah, but basically Ravager's just like in general, just a black mage.
Okay.
So yeah, and they might have some physical attacks, and they're compared to like a Commando, they're a bit more speed focused. Just because like they're not focused on dealing damage, they're focused on driving up the chain gauge. But like if this were real life, it wouldn't necessarily be like that. So like I like to think there wouldn't be a chain gauge in real life. So basically they'd just be your typical black mages who might have like elemental physical attacks as well. So yeah, oh, and also we didn't get to see it because I kind of panned off camera, but those guys that you said walk really slowly, they do that, but like on the field, if they like catch you, I guess, or if they are paying attention to you, because you know enemies try to chase after you in the field.
I just saw him do a number on Hope.
Yeah, but like if you're on the field before a battle starts and they're trying to like catch you, they'll like glide super fucking fast. Like it's really scary, honestly. And like they don't even.
It's like Paranormal Activity.
You might be able to take a look at it if he targets Hope. But he's targeting me right now.
How about this? Thanks, partner.
Not today, Satan. Not today.
Yeah.
Thanks, Hope.
But yeah, basically they don't even, and when they do that, like they don't even like run or walk. They just glide at the enemy, like as if they've got fucking rocket powered shoes or some shit.
Dude, that's like creepy.
It's like ridiculously fast as well. There's actually at the very start of the game, there's a cutscene where Lightning and Saz come across these guys in the war zone, and they try talking, like, or Saz is like, can't you like convince them to let us go or some shit? And the guy's like, fucking lay down your weapons, and Lightning's like, well, fuck that shit. And so then he's like, time's up, and then he glides straight at them at like the fucking speed of sound. It's really badass when you and Lightning's just standing there for the cutscene, like, and then right as it ends, like right as he's about to hit her, that's when the battle starts. And Lightning's just standing there. It's just, oh man. It's badass, but these guys are really scary.
Like, I could totally see them being kind of like the scary type of cryptids you hear about, like urban legend type of stuff, like
it kind of
backwoods monster or Mothman.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me. I was thinking of like, I guess it kind of reminds me of like if you've ever seen or played the game that's based off of Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
The guy with the fucking ski mask.
Shit. I thought that's Jason.
Is that his name? Is that his name, Jason?
Or Halloween. Wait, what's the difference? Shit.
I don't know. I've only ever seen
that's because I don't like the scary movies. Okay, so wait.
Where's the roll level?
Google, you're my friend. Yeah, okay, Friday the 13th is the one with the hockey mask.
Yeah. Is it bad that I've only ever seen people play the game that's based off of it and actually like not seen
No,
the
I know what game you mean. It's like Oh, well, wait. Is it Friday the 13th or is it... What am I thinking of? Jason Voorhees is what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, but I'm not sure if that's from the same.
Voorhees. What is he from? Friday the 13th. Okay. But then there's another one too. Halloween.
Yeah.
Halloween. Maybe. Okay, yeah. Okay, so he has a mask too. This person. Shit, what's his name? Michael Myers. Michael Myers, right? I think.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, Michael Myers. Okay. I always like get them a little mixed up because I am too chicken to give even more than a blink at watching any of these.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't like scary movies either. And I've seen quite a few of them, like, a long time ago.
So when I was like...
Hey, Fang's in the party now.
Okay, when I was like, shit. Maybe 12 or something like that? No, it had to be a little bit younger, like 10 or 11. Mom made... Okay, be thankful that she never did this to you, but Mom made me watch Candyman. And that shit is fucking scary as fuck. Not only that, but because also it took place in the downtown city that's nearby us. I don't know if we want to say.
You don't have to.
Oh well, people will know if they like see Candyman. So yeah, it takes place in downtown Chicago.
Oh, Chicago. Yeah, you can say Chicago.
And I was just like, okay. And the scariest part too was it took place at UIC, and that's where Mom went to school. And so I was just like, oh, well, like, did this happen while you were at school? Like, you know, because I'm a fucking dumb 11-year-old. And not only that, but also there were a ton of bees. Like, the whole thing is, like, Candyman is bees. And, like, you say Candyman, like, you know how people say, what do you call? Like, Bloody Mary in the mirror in the dark?
Yeah.
Like, that whole concept, like, you say her name 3 times at a mirror in the dark and she appears. Yeah. So you do that, but with Candyman.
Uh-huh.
Like, fucking guy is, like, right there. And he has, like, a hook, too. Like, that's how he gets his victims. But then, like, he's bees also, so, like... Maybe I'm being a little... a little loose with the memories, but let me tell you, I wouldn't care for any memory of this at all.
That's understandable.
So, I mean... Thank God these memories are as loose as they are, because if they were any more structured, I don't know. I would be dead. Dead with fear. Because of fear.
That's fair.
Blech. You want to talk about saving the bees? Go watch Candyman. Maybe it'll change your mind.
I don't think it will, but okay. Yeah, so Fang's in the party now.
Hooray!
She's the last character to join the team, and as I think just because of that, she's the slowest to level up. At least in my experience.
I just noticed that she's totally got this like 1990s tribal tattoo on her.
Well, yeah, I guess so. But also,
that's so 90s.
Also, to be fair, she is from like a very tribal world.
Okay.
It's kind of Pulse's theme. Pulse is kind of like, imagine if you crossed Australia, and not like all of us. Well, okay, I guess so. I guess all of Australia, with like, but imagine like crossing that, like the world, right? Or like the world, the continent of Australia, with like the culture of Native Americans, and make that an entire planet. That's basically where she's from.
So she's Aborigine?
So I don't,
Sorry, I'm being a dick right now.
I don't know. I haven't spent a lot of time. That's actually, I kind of wish we would have studied those people more when I was in like anthropology, but
Yeah. The only time I learned about them was when I was substitute teaching for a geography class.
uh-huh. Geography. Why? Okay.
Yeah, kids fucking take geography.
What am I missing here?
Man, I am so belchy today.
I guess I should get. Oh fuck! I guess I should get the roll level. Yeah, lightning's a really shit healer in my opinion. I don't know if Pup is still here, but I was trying to do like just on my 360 file, just for the fuck of it. Even though I don't have like fully upgraded stuff on the 360. But I was trying to do like solo characters versus Vercingetorix. I still can't say his fucking name right. I always thought it was Vercingetorix, but apparently that's not how you pronounce it. It's basically like the last super boss.
Versus geriatrics.
Geriatrics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to do that with like a few different characters. I have, obviously I'm gonna have to do it with Snow because I'm gonna be doing like a full solo run with him. But, yeah, so I was trying out with like different characters. Snow is definitely really difficult to figure out. I think I know what I'm gonna do to, for that boss. But I was trying to do it with like different other characters as well, just to see like how it would play out. And I was thinking about like how basically the characters that I'm not sure, or that we're not sure could pull it off are Hope, Snow, and Fang. Hope because like he kind of doesn't. Well, the thing is, Hope's kind of a weird saboteur because he only learns the AoE versions of every sabotage spell, which is a bit of a pain in the ass, honestly. But if you have like, you know, if you got fully upgraded shit, then you know I found that it's not a really big problem. So if it's possible to land poison with Hope and then just guard for the rest of the battle. So yeah, I feel like it's really chance based, obviously, but you know, I feel like Hope could do it. Snow, I'm not really sure about because obviously it's gonna require like a really specific setup that I'll have to really work through. But then for Fang, I was thinking like, in this game, magic is a lot faster than physical attacks, but it also deals like slightly less damage. So I was thinking like, you know, like for Snow, I'm thinking I'll have to combine physical and magic attacks to take him down. But like for Fang, and also the thing is, you have more like, what's the word for it? Do you know what like super armor is? Like in a video game sense?
I'm just gonna take a guess and say it's pretty darn good armor.
I guess so, yeah. It's like your resistance to being like staggered by the enemy.
Right, yeah.
So like when an enemy attacks you, you like flinch a little bit. And
right,
super armor is like your resistance.
resistance.
Yeah, super armor is just like your ability to fight through it and not get like not flinch.
Yeah.
or not get interrupted, more specifically. And so in this game, there's a spell specifically for that called Vigilance. And in my opinion, that's like the best synergist spell, like even better than Haste.
Change of plans.
I have to laugh, sorry, because that's like a military, like, buzzword. Vigilance.
Vigilance, is it?
Yeah.
Like
You
in
must
what?
you must always stay vigilant.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
As far as, like, reporting, like, possible bad guys.
Yeah. Well, it's
Yeah.
I think it's understandable.
Yeah, but it's such a, like, hot buzzword that
Oh
I'm
yeah.
kind of just over it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah,
Synergy sounds like a business,
like an office word, yeah.
office word. Like, you gotta synergize.
It pretty much is, yeah.
Have
But,
the morning meeting.
Yeah.
You should.
Here goes nothing.
But in this game, Vigilance is a spell that basically makes it so that you can't, or not can't, but like reduces the chance of you flinching from like an enemy attack. So that's why, in my opinion, it's like the best synergist ability. But other than that, like, what was I saying? Yeah, so in the battle against Vercingetorix, or however you pronounce his name, you can't with
Sorry, my brain is going where you know it's going.
yeah, so the thing is, Fang basically can't rely on using too much offensive magic, or just in general, because she doesn't know, as a synergist, she doesn't know Vigilance. So physical attacks interrupt magic attacks most of the time, so if you plan on using magic attacks, you're just gonna get fucking staggered out the ass. Unless you have Vigilance, obviously. So Snow can make use of it, but Fang probably won't be able to. I've found out, so... Yeah, so in terms of Fang, you'll just have to fucking go balls to the walls with physical attacks. What else? Yeah, I've just been trying out different stuff with that, because Fang doesn't learn poison and neither does Snow, so that's why it's kind of iffy about whether they can really do it on their own. Just given that, like, poison is so fucking broken in this game. So yeah, I've just been experimenting with stuff. I think Hope could do it. It's really chance-based, obviously, but I feel like if you give him a bunch of, like, resist damage shit, or increase HP or whatever, he could probably pull it off without too much issue. But Fang, yeah, she won't be able... She'll basically just have to use physical attacks exclusively. And then also... She doesn't learn the, like, the really good healing spells, but she also has, like, a lot of HP. So I don't know. Like, if you're gonna focus on using physical attacks, then, you know, your magic isn't gonna be that strong, and she's not gonna be able to heal herself that well.
Right.
So that's gonna be kind of... And, like, I was working on it in, like, in my 360 file, which obviously, it doesn't have max stats or anything, or, like, max accessories and all that. So it's not as good as it could have been, obviously, so I don't really know exactly how it would go if I had, like, fully boosted up everything. So yeah, but basically the problem I had when I tried doing Fang is that she couldn't heal herself sufficiently enough.
No problem.
So I don't know.
Gotcha.
You might have to use potions for that. I guess I could try it out once I eventually get there. Or Pup, if you're watching, you could probably try it out yourself. But yeah, that's pretty much the only way I can think. That's like the only problem that Fang has in that battle. Like, she can dish out the damage. You know, she's got 2 useful debuffs that she can use in that fight.
Pup says, have you tried Bahamut and elixirs?
I guess you could do that, but then the thing is, like, you would have to... The problem I have with it is, like,
Nothing to worry about.
you would have to, summon pretty much at the end of every turn. Which is... you're just gonna...
That bad?
Well,
Or
no, it's like...
Cosmo?
You could do that, it's just that summoning is, like, a really expensive technique. So if you're using, like, all of the elixirs that you could possibly get in the game, which I think is 4, you would be able to summon 5 times in a single battle. And I don't think, I haven't tried it, because obviously I don't have, like, a perfect save file yet.
Good for 9 full heals.
For what?
9 full heals.
Oh, I guess so. You could use, something else you could do is use Renew, which is another, ability. It's an ability kind of like, summoning.
Okay.
But it costs 1 less, technical point.
Nothing to worry about.
So I guess you could do that.
Okay.
So basically you have 5 technical points, which you can, like, fill up to max using elixirs. You only get 4 elixirs in any playthrough of the game. So Renew costs 2 points, so you'd be able to use it twice in a row before having to use an elixir. So you'd be able to use Renew 12 times, I guess, in a single battle. I don't know if that'll be enough. I have no idea. But I was thinking, I think you can stack Doctor's Codes, which are like the item that improves potions. So maybe you could get away with using potions in that situation. Oh, this is a cute little scene where this dad and his son get separated because the soldiers are like fucking shit up. And so you kill the soldiers and the...
Where's your brother?
And so the dad and the son get to reunite. So that's a cute little...
That's a dad?
Yeah, he's pretty old though.
He looks really old.
A state of emergency has been declared. Sanctum military operation.
Let's see where we are with the game. What time is it right now?
For me or for you?
I can figure it out if you tell me what time it is.
It is 11:40.
Okay. Trying to think what's
We
next.
could go for like another 20 minutes.
Yeah, I guess so.
If you can manage it.
Yeah, we're not gonna be able to finish the chapter, but
We've already been streaming. Oh, it says how long we've been streaming on YouTube. It was 82 minutes.
nice.
So,
Yeah, so we could go a bit further. I guess I'll just have to be careful about where we end it. Yeah. What were we just talking about? Oh yeah, that super boss. Yeah, so I don't know how.
I was talking about that old man and his child.
Oh yeah. There's not a whole lot of moments like that in this game because there's not like a lot of side quest stuff. But yeah, it's just, you know, those little things that kind of color the world a little bit more.
How about this? Time to switch, kiddo.
I wish there was a little bit more of that.
Yeah, I do too.
Kind of really flush it out.
Yeah.
'Cause otherwise it looks very sterile.
I'd say, well, that might be true as well, but also it's more I think the bigger issue is that there's not much to distract you from the game other than fighting. Which like for me, that's perfectly fine. Like personally, FF10
No problem.
made me hate minigames. That's not to say that all minigames are bad, but like, I would much rather have a game where all you do is just fight and watch the story. Which I guess comes from me playing, you know, the Elder Scrolls, where it's mostly just that.
I don't know. It like, you can really...
Although I guess in Oblivion
You
and
can really
Morrowind-
like tailor your playstyle in those games.
Yeah, but also in Oblivion you could kind of get away with not fighting at all.
Right.
How about this?
Not so much in Skyrim, but
Nice one.
yeah. But yeah, it's not really an issue for me personally. But there's more. I guess they kind of addressed it in 13.2 and Lightning Returns because there's a lot of side content in those games. So yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then just to finish what I was saying about that super boss, yeah, I'm not sure how Fang's gonna do it. I think what I'd have to do with Snow, or what I'm gonna have to do is basically use that weapon that sacrifices HP for like a shit ton of strength and magic, so that I can use both physical and magic attacks. So yeah. Oh, these are new enemies. Do these enemies scare you? They're kind of like flying dudes. They're called aerial snipers.
No, not really. They just look like bugs with legs.
Yeah, kind of.
It's me you want.
What else? Oh yeah, we forgot to finish talking about like if you were Lassie, what
Oh, right. So you
roles
said
are
Ravager and...
yeah, so I told you.
Commando.
Yeah, I told
But
you.
you
about
haven't told me
Commando.
any... You
Yeah.
haven't told me a third one yet.
Yeah, okay, so those are the first two out of 6. The next offensive one would be Saboteur. It's just debuffing pretty much, that's about it. So just like, for context, stuff like D-Protect or D-Shell, which lowers the enemy's resistance to physical or magic attacks.
Okay.
Then there's like Slow, which slows them down like opposite haste. You know, stuff like that. And then, so after Saboteur, there's the Sentinel, I guess. And the Sentinel draws, like, sort of provokes enemies, or taunts enemies so that they attack only the Sentinel.
Right,
And then,
okay.
so they gather, like, the aggression of all the enemies on them only, and then they guard against their attacks. So that's moves like Provoke and Challenge, and then guarding abilities like Steel Guard, Meta Guard, and then some like counter. Oh, and then also Elude, which is like a really evasive one.
Sure.
And then there's also like counter abilities like Vendetta and Trench, and there's also like Evade and Counter, just like for when you're not taking an action, just to provide you with some more possible defense. So yeah, that's what they do.
What's the next one?
The next one is Synergist, that's just buffing. So stuff like Haste, and Vigilance, like I said before, Protect and Shell, Bravery and Faith, which is like increasing your strength and magic temporarily.
Okay.
So yeah, and then the last one is Medic, which is just healing and removing status ailments, and if you know Raise, it would be reviving a knocked out party member. So yeah.
Okay.
So those are the 6 roles. Commando, they do physical and non-elemental damage. Ravagers are black magic. Saboteurs are debuffers. Sentinels are like tanks, basically. Synergists are buffers, and medics are healers. So if you were to choose 3 of those, like as your starting ones and like your primary ones, which ones?
Okay.
Which 3 would you choose?
Oh, I thought you were going to ask me like what I personally would be.
Yeah, if you were Lucine, you get to choose your
Oh,
primary
okay.
3 roles. Which ones would you choose?
Oh, okay. Whichever the ones that are furthest away from the hot action.
So the stuff that keeps you.
Anything range, like definitely medic. And then anything, then the other 2 would be some sort of range.
Yeah. So if you have a ranged physical weapon, then you could be a ranged commando. That would be like Savs.
Oh, okay.
Because he he fights with guns. He stays away
Guns,
from the
yeah.
enemies. Magic is always ranged as well. Also, magic never misses. But also, you could take black magic. You wouldn't have access to like the melee black magic attacks, but that might that might not be an issue. So you could depending. I guess that's a good question. What weapon would you use? What type of weapon would you prefer to use? Probably a ranged weapon,
probably
like a bow or a gun or something.
Well, I was just thinking like, I don't know, a staff like of magic of some sort. Like
oh, you mean like a shooting staff as opposed to a quarterstaff?
Yeah. Not a quarterstaff. Something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's just me. Like I'm just reflecting what my personality is like, I guess.
Yeah, because I feel like that has a lot to do with it.
I'm very shy, you know, I don't want to be center of attention either, or be in confrontation. Yeah. I much rather, like, help people, so medic is more... A healer is more my speed.
Yeah. So other than that, you probably, if you didn't want to be, like, center of attention or away from the action, I guess you could take,
Hey, wait up!
You could take, or you wouldn't want to take Sentinel, because that's, like, kind of the point of Sentinels, to be the center of attention.
Exactly. What about for yourself? What would you do?
Yeah, I've thought about this a lot. So my first three would probably be, or like my primary three would probably be Commando, Sentinel, and Medic. I think those are the three that fit me best.
Nice.
Later!
So,
What
yeah.
weapons would you use?
I don't know. I do like swords. I also like staffs as well. But I guess
Staves.
or staves. Yeah, I don't know how people tend to pronounce that. I guess it's not
Well, I
a word
know
people
that,
use
like,
much.
I know that, like, in music, like, a music staff, if you have multiple, then you call them staves, but I don't know if it's, like,
Yeah.
you're talking about the physical.
I think it's the same because they're spelled the same way, so they're probably the same
You see that?
in the plural form.
Maybe.
So yeah, I don't know. I feel like an ideal weapon for me would be like some sort of I think the word for it is like a sword staff. You seen, like, you know the type of weapon that Darth Maul uses? Like a sword that's two swords and one handle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's probably the type of weapon I would prefer to use.
So, like, a big two-handed weapon.
Well, yeah, big in the sense that it's basically
Two-handed
two
and
swords
then
combined.
Also, like, two-sided.
Yeah. And
wow,
even better if it can, like, well, because yeah, I guess it would have to split apart into two swords, because otherwise I don't know how you would store the weapon. Oh, this is super creepy. So I pick up this item, right, from this little chest, and right fucking behind me is the Velacycle. It's really creepy when you see it on the map.
Oh, too spooky. Stop.
Did I? Oh yeah, I got a preemptive strike, if you can fucking believe that. Wow, that's the first time I've ever seen, like, the first hit of a preemptive strike miss. So basically, when you get a preemptive strike, you basically run up and hit the enemy with your weapon. And usually, if there's only one enemy, you don't tend to miss. But he just missed, which is pretty funny. Usually that only happens when there's like a big crowd of them. But luckily they just keep swinging until they hit. Yeah. Yeah, so I would definitely be like a commando, a sentinel, and a medic. I think that's pretty good. A pretty good trio of of roles and abilities. I'd be like mostly a white mage, pretty much. But for you, I guess you say you would be a medic, right?
Yep.
So you probably, yeah, you would want like, I guess the choice would be yours between Commando and Ravager. I guess it just kind of depends on what your preference is. Like, would you prefer to use like elemental magic or your weapon and like non-elemental magic? And then I guess you would between Commando and Ravager, it would just depend on whether you'd want to use like elemental magic or if you want to use like non-elemental magic. So yeah, it's up to you.
I have no idea what the difference is.
Well, in like if this were in real life, it would just be aesthetic, I think.
Oh. Because... not real life. You mean like... if the game were real.
Well, like if the sea really existed, you know?
Right, right. If the story within the game were real.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. And then after that, I guess for the, well, you could take both of them, I guess. Or alternatively...
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, you could if you wanted to. So you could be, like, Commando, Ravager, Medic.
Oh, okay.
Or alternatively, you could be,
Time to switch, kiddo.
you could be, you could take Saboteur or Synergist along with, Medic, if you wanted to do that.
Tight.
So yeah. But yeah, that's a fun thing to think about, like if you were, I think about that a lot in, like, other video games too, like if you were in Skyrim, like what type of skills would you use and stuff like that.
Thanks, partner.
What about in Skyrim? What would you?
What I'm talking about.
What kind of character would you be?
Would you mean, like, what kind of race or what kind of class?
Well, either one, maybe like both if you feel like you have thought about it or whatever.
I kind of like the idea of being Khajiit, but they get a really bad rap, and there's like a lot of racism toward them in Argonians.
Yeah, well, also that's not really true in their home. So if you wanted to go to their home province, you could just do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Leave this to me.
But I mean, like, if you wanted to go exploring and
Oh yeah,
all that,
yeah.
you know, you
would have to deal with racism, yeah.
Yeah, you run into some dankness.
Yeah.
But let's see. I mean, again, I would be something like either
It's all about teamwork.
something that doesn't provoke. So either it's like sneaking, like thief sneaking sort of stuff, or some sort of like range idea.
You could be like a summoner.
Oh yeah, get everybody else to do the shit for me. Yeah, totally. Done.
Yeah. This is why Steel Guard is the best Sentinel ability in my opinion.
It's all about teamwork.
You could just, if you block enough attacks, you're just invincible.
Oh, follow my lead.
Do you think we're gonna be coming up to a nice rapper and up point?
Yeah, hopefully. I think, I'll have to check the map to see where the next save point is, but hopefully we're pretty close. Especially if I finish these fights pretty quickly, then that'd be pretty good. There we go, that's that fight.
Bye!
So, yeah, the next save point's a little bit
There's gotta be something around.
far.
Oh, shit.
So hopefully I can finish this section as soon as possible. There's only like 3 more fights left
Oh,
in this little area, and then that's it. Not exactly easy fights, but you know.
Yeah. That guy's like, sup, dude?
Yeah.
He's got his bug friend next to him. I don't know, I have no idea what kind of bug. Oh, you know what? It looks like he's like part helicopter too. Maybe that's why I was thinking.
How about this? Thanks, Hope.
They did a terrible experiment on me, and I became... Or no, wait. I ate the heli fruit, and I became part man, part helicopter. Can't you see that being a dragon? Or what is it called? Is it a dragon fruit?
No.
Or no.
Dragon fruit's a real thing.
Dragon fruit's real.
That'd be pretty cool though, a fucking helicopter.
With devil's fruit. Fuck. Oh my god. Dragon fruit. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Can't believe what I said.
I don't know if helicopters.
Have you had dragon fruit?
I don't think I have, no.
It's basically a hyped up cousin of a kiwi.
Oh,
It basically tastes exactly like kiwi, but it costs like 4 times as much.
So, I mean, you could just buy a kiwi in that case.
Yeah. No, I was curious and I was like, oh, this is so fancy. Look at me buying this fancy fruit. And then I eat it and I'm like, this tastes exactly like kiwi.
I guess it's
and
one of those things
it looks like kiwi inside too, but like just a different color. It's white.
Yeah.
With black seeds.
I guess it's like one of those foods you buy for
Sure that this is the right way.
just for the aesthetic or like for the name.
Yeah. Unless there's like something completely magical that you could do with it that you can't do with a kiwi.
See, this is a super cool area. Just looking at this like
That's cool.
cliffside. There's actually a line here that
That guy came out of nowhere.
yeah.
He scared me.
There's actually a line if you. There's so much dialogue in this game, it's pretty crazy. But like, if you kind of stick around here for a little while, at this like rooftop place, like right
Just
in
like
this area.
staring out.
Yeah, Snow will eventually Snow will say something along the lines of like, I kind of have a thing for heights, so it's just like these little interesting things.
You have a
about it.
hard on for heights?
Time to switch, kid.
Well, I assume he means like I like being up high.
Or he likes being high.
I guess so, yeah.
Whenever I see like the same like multiples of the same mob, I think I like instantly imagine them in some sort of like barbershop quartet scene.
That's hilarious.
Because these guys like started off with like 3 of them all like in a nice little row, and I was like, do boppy do.
Yeah.
Do.
That's amazing. I bet somebody's drawn that for like some games. Like I could imagine
I'm
people doing
sure.
that for like Monster Hunter or Pokemon or something like that. Okay, one more fight. What time is it?
Your mom, who's my mom.
Yeah.
It's 12 o'clock.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll try to hurry this up.
No, we're good.
Well, I mean, just
yeah, but-
because I also have shit to do, so.
Well, hurry!
Yeah, so this is kind of like the toughest random fight we've had so far.
I'm the toughest motorcycle villain on this side of this weird place.
It's one of those fights where you just kind of have to start out with healing.
Oh yeah.
Oh fuck.
Those take the longest amount of time. Dude, Hope, bye!
Yeah. Well, at least I'm in Sentinel. I can just soak up all this fucking damage.
Thanks, Hope.
Yeah, apparently I didn't know this when I was playing the game the first time, but like you get the roll bonus just by being in the roll, and I didn't know that, and it also applies to your allies.
Nice.
So like you can like even if you're not using abilities, just being in the Sentinel role will reduce the damage.
Huh.
Thanks, partner.
And then it also applies a little bit to your allies. So like for you, for the Sentinel themselves, the roll bonus is like I don't know, it's something along the lines of like 30% damage reduction or some shit like that. And then it's
Do you
also
think it's like a teasing it a little bit or no?
no, not really, because like some enemies really hit fucking hard. Yeah, I'd say it's pretty useful. And also, like, you can tailor certain paradigms so that they're more defensive. So, like, it would be good to have Sentinels and Medics on the same paradigm, so that you know, your Medics don't have to work as hard.
Sure.
So, and
Yeah,
then
that
you can
makes
also
sense,
you can also help defend them a little bit more as well. Because the characters that tend to start out as Medics tend to have like less HP in general.
Okay.
And there we go. That's the that's that fight done.
Da-na-na-na.
Perfect. Oh, a little bit of frame drops there.
Super.
But yeah, so yeah, that's it from us. I'm just gonna save here, and
Dear Diary, I just defeated a quartet full of
a barbershop
thieves
quartet of little helicopter dudes.
of helicopter men who ate some dragon fruit.
Yeah.
I'm the one you
I
want.
personally think dragon fruit's a little bit an overhyped kiwi.
Pretty much. And that's it for us. Yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully, again, we'll be back next week at Wednesday about the same time.
Yep.
So,
And thank you to everyone who showed up in chat and
Yeah,
kept
thanks
the
everybody.
conversation going.
Appreciate you guys.
Hopefully we'll see you guys next time to continue
Yeah.
our little adventure.
And so hopefully next time we'll probably finish this chapter. We might be able to finish the next chapter because it's just kind of short. So I don't know. I guess we'll see how that goes. So yeah.
All right.
That's it from us, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye. Bye.